Good morning. Good morning. You've just caught us having coffee and biscuits. Nutella biscuits. That's right. That's Nutella biscuits. This is not a paid promotion. But they can pay me to eat biscuits if they want to.
I was going to say packets of biscuits you'll happily accept. I do actually. I don't like Nutella and things like that, but I like these, which I shouldn't because, of course, they're fattening. But the biscuit is not a really sweet pastry. It's a...
well, it's not going to be a pastry, is it?
Well, no, it's a crumble biscuit. That's what it is. It's a dough. Yeah.
Oh, pastry's a dough.
Absolutely. That's exactly what I was going to say.
They were given to me by somebody at work.
Yeah, lovely.
Anyway, welcome to the show.
Sunday chat!
Oh, Jesus. Hope you're well. We're eating biscuits, having coffee. That's it. Bye. Just a quick one. They are delicious. And they're known, before you start going on about palm oil and all that, well, somebody's got to eat them. They've been made.
Is it sustainably sourced? I don't know.
I don't know. Don't care. I've eaten them. That's it.
I will look it up though.
So bloody welcome. Bloody welcome. All back to normal this week. Well, not really for ours. It's all still crazy. Madness. Crazy clear out.
Yeah.
We've almost got rid of absolutely everything we own.
This is the only sofa in the house now.
If it's not strapped down, it's been given away. Bye, Paul.
I bet what's her name said that. The dinner voucher lady, didn't she?
What dinner voucher lady?
Dinner voucher? Lunch and vouchers. Lunch and voucher lady. Yeah. If it's not strapped down, it's going away.
What?
Yeah.
I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
You know, what's her name? She was played by Julie Walters.
It sounds like something to do with poor people, so I'm not interested.
No, it was very rich people. It was.
I don't know what you mean.
The lunch and voucher lady in the sort of 80s, you know. The
lunch and voucher lady in the 80s.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're referring to.
She was a madame. In a house.
You mean Cynthia Payne?
Cynthia Payne.
She wasn't known as the lunch and voucher lady.
Wasn't she?
No, she was a madam.
No, I thought she took lunch and vouchers.
She did, but that wasn't what she was known as.
Well, no, maybe not, but she was by me.
Jesus Christ, you take a long time to get round to the point, Paul.
Oh dear, yeah.
And when you do, I mean...
It's not worth it.
No.
Oh dear, I'll just sit here and drink my coffee.
Yeah, and try and be interesting. So bloody welcome to the show. Calm down now, Paul.
Dear.
The coffee's not even kicked in yet.
No, it's not. No.
Are we recording?
Yeah.
I hope we are.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dear.
I've forgotten what
Oh, dearie me. Well, yeah, that went off at a tangent.
Yeah, let's get on with the show.
Oh, no!
Right. Get out! Get out! I've just cleaned today. This is a disaster. I've just vacuumed and cleaned and sorted all of this sofa out, and now it's going to spill coffee all over it. Really, what would you do? Wipe the cup first because it's dripping. There. Floor, wipe, down on knees.
Pad.
Give me coffee before you spill even more.
Oh, and there's a person. Oh,
just deal with that.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. This is somebody collecting something.
Hi, come to the bike club. Sorry, I'm a bit early.
That's all right, that's great.
Oh, that's brilliant. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's great.
Not a reflector.
Okay, brilliant.
Well,
This is great.
Battery.
Yeah, that's lovely. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
For that, you're not having the last Nutella biscuit. I'm having it.
Oh dear, gosh, excitement. What excitement in this house.
So, Paul, what has the weather been like this week?
It's been cold and wet. So I've been going on for weeks about if we don't have any decent rain, we're going to be talking about drought really early. And I'm not sure whether the rain was decent enough to fill up the aquifers. I'm sure it wasn't. But there's aquifers, yeah, in the ground. But there's been plenty of snow up north, and maybe we'll get some of that as well when it melts.
What, you mean the water will come down to the south?
Yeah. Yeah.
What? I don't think that's how it works.
Oh, right, okay. Well, it does, actually.
No, because the reservoirs up north are for the cities up north.
Yeah, they'll take those. But where does Liverpool's water come from?
Wales.
Wales.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
So let's do that again. So the weather this week has been very changeable. There have been periods of sun, very brief periods. There have been frosts. There have been snow flurries. There have been rain showers. It's been a mixed bag, but it still remains very bloody cold.
Yeah, really
very
does.
Cold.
And last night we had a frost, so it was frosty.
Focus on your coffee, Paul.
Focus on my coffee.
So yeah, it's been changeable, and yeah, it does continue to be really, really cold. We've had a few fires this week because we've had to. Yeah. What more can I say?
And what's it going to do? Surely it's going to start heating up now.
It's going to be a little bit warmer this weekend. Apparently it's going to go up to the dizzying heights of 13 degrees tomorrow.
Amazing.
And Monday. But I believe there will be another dip in temperature during the middle
of next week.
Of the during the middle of the week. It's been a busy morning, folks. It's been a busy morning so far. It's Saturday morning, just to clarify that. And I've been doing stuff. Cleared out a cupboard, dusted, vacuumed, put a couple of washers on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be done.
And I've been free cycling things. Actually, I've been putting them on our local Facebook Ealing reuse thing. Oh. And they've been going well today. We've got some binders, some ring binders that have been up there for days and days and days. I think people just aren't using them anymore, are they?
No, I don't think people do. I think they just have to be dumped at the dump.
I think I'm thinking if I can somehow get because they're sort of paper, they're card, aren't they? So they can be recycled.
Well, they're lever arch files.
They're lever arch files. So I'm wondering if I can somehow cut the metal bit out without damaging myself, of course. So then they can go in the recycling.
Just take them to the dump. That's what I'd do.
I might ask them at the dump because I'm sure some of if I put it into anyway.
Yeah.
And what else? Yeah, there's a few things which sort of haven't been going, but things that we put on this morning are all being taken today, which is really, really good, including a huge, heavy chopping board. It used to be my favourite chopping board. It was like 60 centimetres wide, enormous, wooden, but that's going as well,
wooden
so that's
pointless, frankly.
Well, it was a great chopping board.
Yeah,
it
but
really
it's pointless. It's huge. Doesn't even fit in our kitchen.
It doesn't fit in this kitchen because where I chop is the work surfaces are relatively narrow. They're sort of like 55, and this one is bigger than that.
I think unless you're doing huge cuts of meat.
Yeah, which we used to, which now we don't.
It's pointless having anything like that. Say goodbye. Say goodbye to it, Paul.
So it's going, and also a wok, a traditional steel wok, not a stainless steel one. So that will need to be reseasoned and various other things. So yeah.
Is it steel?
Yeah.
I didn't think steel rusted.
Yeah, it's steel. Stainless steel doesn't rust. Steel does.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on with the show, because, yeah, basically. So,
So, what has the week been like for you, Richard?
So, yes, sorry, I'm kind of feeling a bit whammed out this morning, to be honest. It's been a busy week. There's been lots going on at work. We have recruited for the other half of my post. Still waiting for that to be organised, because I just don't get how long recruitment takes. This person doesn't even need to be police checked because they already work for the council.
Right.
So as far as I'm concerned, they could just come and start.
But does she need to give notice where...
No, she works part-time for the council already.
Right.
And this will make a full-time week for her with this job.
But won't she need to give notice?
She's still working in that other job.
No, exactly. So she's still working in that other job, and they may have said, well, you can go after you've given a month's notice and we've had time to recruit for your job.
Did you listen to what I'm saying?
Yeah,
She's already working for the council on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday morning.
Oh, so you're saying she
job,
could do Wednesday afternoon,
this job
Thursday,
is
Friday?
That's what she's going to be contracted to do.
Right, yeah, I see what you mean.
So all she needs to do is start work and get trained by me. So I don't understand why it's taking so long to sort out, you know?
Yeah, I think these things do.
Well, I know why. It's because the HR person that deals with our team is on break.
Right.
But what I don't understand is why can't somebody
else
cover that?
Absolutely.
And deal with it? So these are the challenges that you face when you work for a local authority. There's so much red tape, it's just crazy. So so that's good, because it means hopefully within the next few weeks I can revert back to my contracted hours of Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday morning. Therefore allowing time to start getting the house really sorted for sale. And, you know, it's going to be cruel. There's going to be some hard cuts I'm going to make, Paul.
Yeah, I'm leaving for like 6 months.
There's going to be some furniture that I'm going to say goodbye to, definitely.
Is
I want
there?
to pare down.
What? Like what?
This sofa. I'm saying goodbye.
No.
We're going to start sitting on the floor.
No, we're not.
On cushions.
We're not.
No, not really, but there are a few bits I've got a poof I want to get rid of. I want to get rid of that stool in the kitchen.
Oh, right,
That's
okay.
going to go.
Right,
Say goodbye.
right.
Things like that. Just things that are extra that we just don't need.
So can I free cycle that this afternoon then?
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah, give it a good clean first. It's a little bit dusty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, so yes, it all continues. But yes, it's been a busy week at work. And I do feel a bit, I could do with a really good day of doing nothing, of reading, or playing some games, or playing on my Nintendo DS, which I was looking at this morning. I've got loads of games for that. I've forgotten.
You have.
I'm going to pick that up again and start playing it.
Yeah, good luck on finding a day to do that, though.
Yeah,
because
good
you
luck
certainly won't have it in the next month.
Good luck in finding some time anywhere to do that, really. We have been continuing to play Scrabble of an evening after dinner, and we're thoroughly enjoying it, aren't we, Paul? Yes, we are.
I had a really bad run of letters. I'll put that on. I've got a photo. I'm going to put it onto coffee. But I had all vowels for like 4 runs, and then I had to change my letters because I thought this will just carry on. You got some really good words,
Yeah,
I thought, this
think
week.
if you added up all the scores, Paul, I think you'll find that I'm probably the winner.
I think you might be at the moment, yeah. I think you might be.
I'm good at Scrabble.
But who's got the highest score so far?
What?
Who's got the highest score so far?
What was it? What was it?
It was 40, was it 45 or 48 points?
Well, there's one very easy way to tell. I can just look back at the scores, Paul. 45?
Yeah, it was a few days ago.
45.
45. And that was a naughty word for a ladies thingy, wasn't it?
A naughty word for a lady's thingy.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, it was.
I got a triple word and it began with Q. Yeah. So, did well on that. Yeah. Not going to post that anywhere.
Shush now, Paul. Don't be disgusting.
Oh, but you've got, I think, 36 or something at one point, didn't you? You got 12 and triple word.
Hold
36.
on one moment, caller.
Gosh, you got all the scores there.
Yeah, I
you
keep
see,
the
I
scores.
obviously won that one.
At some point, I will be going through them and totting them all up. 39, my age.
39, that's your highest. Yeah, that
I think
was a
39
triple.
was my
It's his highest. Yeah.
Anywho.
But we are enjoying it. We do one game, we have our supper, we do one game, put it away, and then watch a bit of TV.
we do.
So, yeah.
Something different, something to exercise the brain.
There's that Sherlock Holmes game upstairs as well. There's 2 Sherlock Holmes games I saw, board games. So, yeah.
Anyway, so next item in the news this week.
Well, thank you very much for asking how my week has been, Richard.
Nobody cares.
My week
What has your
been...
week been like, Paul? You've been lacking motivation.
I
this
have
week,
been really,
haven't you,
really
Paul?
lacking motivation
Paul,
this week.
Paul, I just don't think you can go on.
I am going to go on.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I am going to go on. In the clearing out of things, putting my coffee down there, I did come across this little booklet that I started writing when I was about 12, I think, maybe 13. And the title is 101 Useless Things to Do on an Afternoon or a Morning while at school or working at a computer or travelling by underground, or in fact instead of doing any other form of boredom. And it goes on about things like read a book the right way up, P.S. either the book or yourself. Eat beetroot. I think that's an interesting one. Place one's head in a bucket. Walk to your neighbour while mixing cement in a liquidizer and ask them if they would like to swap a brass monkey for a pound of lemon flavoured fridges. I don't know where this was coming from.
This is a sparklingly clear insight into the person that I've lived with for the past 30 years. Can you see my point?
Telephone any random American telephone number and ask if they could tell you the way to the nearest public lavatory.
Yeah, I think we've had enough now, Paul.
Yeah, there we are. Oh, we have had enough. That's another person.
Please bear with. This is what I have to put up with. Help me. So that is, I think, it for the interruptions this morning, Paul. That's everything collected for the moment.
It is, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. So, what were you saying? I can't remember.
Yeah, I've just been lacking motivation this week, and there's been a few things that have been sort of starting and stopping, and then we'll do that in a couple of months' time, and that's been a bit sort of frustrating. But yeah, getting on and clearing a few things has been good. And of course the weather has been... There are a few jobs I wanted to do at the plot this week and I haven't been able to do those because of the weather. So, I'm sure next week will be better. Fingers crossed.
Have you finished?
Yeah.
So, in a new segment this week, celebrity deaths. Who's died this week? Mystic Meg?
Oh, yes.
She didn't see that coming, did she? Now, for those of you who don't know who Mystic Meg is, Mystic Meg shot to fame when the National Lottery began in the UK, which of course was a great source of excitement for all citizens. The prospect of winning millions whilst not really understanding what the odds are, and parting with your money every week, having to go to the newsagent and fill out the little ticket and put your little dashes across your numbers and give it to the person and get your little ticket. Never winning, but always hoping.
Well, we used to do
The strapline was, it could be you.
Oh, yeah, it could be you.
It never
Yeah.
was us. Oh,
Well,
it
that's
was
not
once.
true,
It
is
was
it?
once.
That
We
is
did-
absolutely not
We
true.
did win £25,000.
We did win £25,000.
Yeah, which we then said goodbye to straight away on a debt
Yeah.
But yes,
It was, and it was a work debt because a West End show called Money to Burn had collapsed, and therefore all of my invoices to them weren't paid. So effectively, that £25,000 put us back onto an even keel. 20 years ago, that was.
yeah. But
20
anyway, you were
years
going
ago.
to say the reason we were doing the lottery on a regular basis was for Paul's mum and dad, because in Guernsey you can't play the lottery.
National
The
Lottery
national
here.
lottery.
They have
for
their
the UK.
own. They have their own lottery, which is now a Guernsey, Jersey sort of Channel Islands
A
lottery.
little mini lottery.
Well, I think you were winning. I think it was like £25,000 a
mini.
week or something. I think it was quite a lot of money 50 years ago or whatever. I don't know what it is now. I think they get up to about
50
500,000.
years ago.
Yeah.
Has it been going for 50 years?
Yeah.
The little lottery in
Yeah.
Guernsey.
So yeah, and Dad used to get really excited when his ticket, his numbers came up, and we'd win a tenner or something, and Dad would always say, "Oh, well, buy a bottle of wine with that." It was always, yeah. He always sent me the money. Every 8 weeks, he would send me the money to do the lottery, and any winnings he got, they'd always come to us.
But they've had more, your mum and dad had more success with the premium bonds.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't
Yeah.
they? They won quite a few
Absolutely.
bits and pieces. And of course, you've inherited some of your dad's premium bonds, haven't
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
So,
And last year, won big. Didn't we?
don't say that, Paul. Winning big is $1 million.
Oh,
That's
right,
winning
okay.
big.
We
Don't say.
we won small.
Yeah, like 50 quid or whatever it
No,
was.
it's £1,000.
What?
Yeah.
£1,000?
Yeah.
You didn't tell me that.
Yes, I did. That was in one of the moments where I was talking and you weren't listening clearly.
What did you spend that on?
It just went back into the pot. So it's in there as premium bonds. And the thing is, you can give a month's notice and withdraw it, obviously. So
Well, we could have used that to heat the bloody house.
and
during
in
the winter.
January we won 50 quid and 100 quid. I only found that out yesterday.
Really?
Yeah. That'll pay for a bit of
So,
smokeless
yes.
fuel.
Mystic Meg died,
Yeah.
and also that other person died, Popov. What's his name? Popol?
Topol.
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 Not Popov.
Topol.
Who was Popov? Was there somebody called Popov?
Isn't it a
Topov?
It's
Who's
a,
Topov?
It's, Popov is like a pastry or something, I think.
Anyway,
Topol died.
what was it? Fiddler on the
Fiddler
Roof.
on the Roof.
Which I've never liked, to be honest.
I think it's got a few good songs in it.
It's never one of
But
my
I'm not a great
favourites.
fan of it. No. I think I saw him. I can't remember. I was very young.
He was in Flash Gordon as well, wasn't
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't remember.
With
What's
Brian
he-
Blessed. Wasn't he one of those flying people?
Oh yeah, maybe he was.
Yes. Anyway, so there we are. That's it for celebrity deaths this week.
What was Lee Marvin? What musical was he in?
Was it Paint Your Wagon or
Oh,
something?
Paint Your Wagon.
Was that a musical?
Was it? Wasn't it? I Was Born Under a Wandering Star. Wasn't that? Didn't he sing? Yeah, something like that. Something like that. I mean, what a range.
Anyway,
of
move on.
Voice, yeah.
Let's move on because it's not a long one this week. In news this week as well, there's been a big row going on between Gary Lineker, who is an ex-footballer, now a football commentator,
Pundit.
pundit, tweeted about the crisis that is occurring with the migrants
And small boats in particular.
the boats that are coming across the channel from France. And there's been a big row because as an employee of the BBC, he is meant to be impartial and not make any extreme comments either way. That's what happens when you work for the BBC or public bodies in general.
Or charities.
For example,
Charities.
as a council employee, we are all reminded during election times that we are in a period that's called purdah. And during purdah, which is Purdah, during purdah we are not allowed to express any kind of political leanings whatsoever to anybody, members of the public. We are not allowed to in any way influence people to vote either way. So this happens to most public bodies, and Gary Lineker is supposedly in breach of these rules and will not be presenting Match of the Day, which is some programme about football that's on weekly. I never watched it. Never will watch it. And his co-stars have come out in solidarity supporting him, and rightly so. Frankly, if I was Gary Lineker, I would say, stuff you, BBC, I'm off. Because, frankly, he must have made millions.
Yeah, but that's not the point, what he's made and what he hasn't, is it?
Well, it is the point, because he can afford to walk away from a job. That's what I'm saying. People like me could not afford to walk away from a job if I disagreed with my employers to the point that I thought, I can't go on with this, I can't go on, and walk away. That's my point.
But
so
the
him
point
walking away from
is,
that will not cause him that much hardship.
No, it won't, and he'll be able to go to Sky or another one, or maybe even Netflix, or contact him saying, can you do a programme for us for 50 million a year instead of 1.3?
Exactly.
So that's fine. The issue here is that people should be allowed to say what they want. We have supposedly free speech in this country, and this just shows that we don't. Because if you have charities, corporations, people who work in civil service, all of that, who are not allowed to give their own opinion, where does it actually stop? You know, will it then become newspapers, who of course are all, most of them, apart from the Guardian and possibly the Independent, are all biased anyway, because they're owned by, big press barons like Murdoch. Where will it stop?
Yeah, but you could say that in the same way you could say that with freedom of speech. So you could say, okay, if people are totally free to say what they want, they can also say hate speech.
Absolutely. I agree.
There have to be guidelines.
Yeah.
Just like royalty have guidelines from the government that they are not allowed to express their political opinions.
And I would say that
because
King Charles, thankfully, is pushing those boundaries quite a lot.
But they can affect huge swathes of people. Just, for example, in America, there was that issue around Taylor Swift expressing an opinion, because it was well known that if she expresses an opinion, it could affect huge swathes of people voting in a certain way, which again is influencing people to not think through their own minds.
Yes, but at the same time as saying that, we have press barons who own, the Daily Mirror, the Sun, the Times, the Telegraph, telling everybody, apart from the Mirror, which is not a Tory paper, to vote Conservative. So actually, this impartiality that we have and free speech that we have in the UK is just hot air. It doesn't really exist. Because if you're saying to certain echelons of society, oh, you can't say that because you'll breach guidelines, yet you then allow press barons to basically manipulate completely and tell lies, but you don't stop them doing that, where is freedom of speech?
Well, also, when you're talking about using words, and that's what we're talking about here.
Gosh.
We're talking about the use of words. I think also, Gary Lineker was talking about, there was another interview, and he was saying, before I tweet, I read it and I read it and I read it, and if there's anything that
1%
smells wrong, I don't send it. Yeah? So surely the issue here is about how we craft our words.
Yeah.
And how we choose to say something. so we can get a point across without being inflammatory.
Yeah.
So surely as an employee, you need to think clearly about the words you use.
Yeah.
And that's the point, isn't it? Because you could say the same thing in a different way.
But the thing is, he's employed to give punditry on sports and
football.
particularly football. That shouldn't stop him being able to give a view on dig or no dig gardening. But that's basically what they're saying. They're saying that if that dig or no dig gardening became so political that there was going to be an impartiality breach, he wouldn't be able to say it. That's just ridiculous.
I don't think you can compare talking about the government's position on migrants crossing the channel with no dig gardening, Paul.
What
really.
I'm saying is...
It's about the issues that
what
matter.
I'm saying...
It's also about the government. It's about the government.
Our hateful government.
And especially Suella Braverman.
Our hateful Suella Braverman.
Braverman, as I like to call
Vermin,
her.
yeah.
Braverman. She's got rats in her tits.
Yeah.
It's about the government as well. It's also about the links that the BBC has to people in government. So there's a background story going on here, which there's more to it than meets the eye, isn't there? That's the real crux of the matter. We're now going to move on. It's got too political.
No, I'm going to say one other thing. The thing is, it's the thin end of the wedge. This is the problem. And if we start saying that people can't say this, can't say that, we get to the thick end of the wedge. And that's when control really takes over.
Lovely.
And I think in the UK now we're being more and more manipulated and controlled.
Lovely, Paul.
And that's why I love my plot, because I can go down there and I can see cats and I can sow seeds.
Fluffy kittens.
I can see fluffy kittens as well, yeah.
Bears with wings.
There's quite a lot of times where we'll be watching something at the moment and we'll be chatting about something and I'll just go, oh, fluffy kittens, puppies, lovely things, candy floss. Because I just need to pull myself back from, that whole world of negativity out there.
I think you need to go and see a GP and ask for some kind of mental health assessment, Paul. Really? So...
I think our government does.
So, let's tie up, because it's been going on far too long.
Yeah, but there's been lots going on, hasn't there?
I know, welcome to our crazy world. Paul, also, without talking too much about it, your next issue of a Guernsey garden...
My Guernsey garden? I don't have a Guernsey garden.
Your next issue of a Guernsey Gardener in London is out now. Out now. Link below.
Yes, there we are.
Lovely, that's it. So, Paul, it's time for the final segment of the day, week, episode.
Month, year.
Bye.
Yeah. What have we been watching this week? Oh, you look so attractive.
Endeavour we continue with. Well, yeah.
I adore it. I adore it.
I just don't really like him, and I think that Inspector, he's a bit wooden. He's a bit wooden, isn't he?
Anyway,
Really?
I love it.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting because they're... the thing is, with this series, they knew that they were going to run for a certain length of series, as long as it ran for that length. Because it's the same as Morse and it's the same as Lewis. So it's interesting that they've been able to, or they are doing now, weaving in characters that we've seen before in previous seasons, tying up loose threads and storylines. And I just think the crafting of the writing is extraordinary. Love
Good.
it. Love it.
I'm so
Love
pleased.
it. And in the last episode that we watched, a character from before came in, and when Morse opened the door, when Endeavour opened the door, it was sort of like, ooh, it's him. So that was exciting.
That was the point where you woke me up.
I think it may have been.
I use it as a sleep opportunity.
He's been sleeping quite a lot.
I haven't. That's a complete and utter lie, Paul.
I think you've...
If something isn't engaging me, I switch off. Narcolepsy, I'm sure. Seriously, no, I do, if it's not engaging me. But there are things that have engaged me. Picard, I don't fall asleep at.
You have fallen asleep at that before.
No, I haven't.
Yes, you have.
No, I haven't.
You have.
No,
Not this
no,
series.
no.
You
No,
have.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Picard, great.
We have also binge-watched Unforgotten on ITVX.
Yes, the sort of porno hub of ITV.
It's
isn't it?
not a porno hub,
Oh,
Paul,
right, okay.
just because it's got an X in the
I
title.
know, it's just ridiculous.
So we have been binge-watching and done the whole series.
Yeah, we didn't realise you
but
could watch the whole thing
I was talking.
until several people commented that we could watch the whole thing on ITVX, so we did do that.
And it's okay.
I
It's okay.
enjoyed it.
I thought it was... the thing is, it's very dark. It's very dark.
It is a dark one, but it's
And-
always been dark, hasn't it?
Yeah, and I don't really like to spend my evenings in the mire of darkness and abuse. Really, because that's what the stories are all about.
It is. Well, I mean, that's murder
Really
mystery
horrible
mostly.
abuse. Yeah, but I like a light, pleasant, frothy, fluffy murder like Murder, She Wrote, or Rosemary in Thyme. Those are nice. Murders surrounded by flowers.
Right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's what I like. But, yeah, very dark. Relatively well acted. I don't always believe them.
I think the acting is good. I think Nicola Walker is an exceptional actress, and of course she left the series in the last series.
Yeah, Nicola Walker is exceptional, and I always believe her.
But I think the new actress that has come in, I think she's really good. I do like her. I do like her.
Okay. She's okay. They put her through the mill.
Absolutely. How the whole story has been woven together, I think is I think it's clever. Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, I'd say 6 out of 10.
I'd say 7.5 out of 10.
Really? You
Yeah.
enjoyed it more than that, as far as you're concerned?
7.5, maybe 7.8 out of 10.
Okay, that's better.
7.85 out of 10.
We continue with Picard. 10 out of 10 as far as I'm concerned. No, we haven't. We said... I said I didn't fall asleep during Picard.
Oh.
That's all. I didn't actually say anything about the show. Continues to be excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my washing machine making a noise. It's on its final rinse and spin. The whole house is vibrating.
And how many more are there? There's another 3 or something.
Something like that.
And that's on Prime for us in the UK.
We watch The Usual Things. By now you should know what the acronyms are. QT, MSW, RNT. Didn't watch DD yet this week.
Not yet.
We've got
Maybe
that to
later.
watch.
I think it's interesting when we look back at MSW because there's been quite a few episodes that we've watched where there's been a lot of Me Too around the storyline, hasn't there?
Well, what you're saying is that a lot of the storylines,
some of them,
involve predatory male bosses abusing women.
Yeah.
So, it's really interesting that Murder, She Wrote 30 years ago, 40 years ago, whatever it is.
40 years ago.
Was tackling these issues. And you think the Me Too movement is recent. How long it took for things to really get to a head. How long must people have been dealing with this kind of abuse in the workplace without it actually really being tackled?
And I remember...
incredible, really.
20 years ago, there were, this type of thing was just sort of what happened. And
was it?
It sort of was, and it was sort of like, oh yeah, the casting couch in film and theatre and things, and it's sort of
I've
like.
never thought it's just what happened. I thought how disgusting and vile.
No, I thought that, but I think there was a general feeling of, well, that's what happened, and this is all part of that movement, isn't it? It's what I was saying, like thin end of the wedge getting up.
Again, it's to do with power abuse of power. And fear.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people used to think, well, if I don't do this, they're going to ruin me. You'll never work in this town again, honey.
But
that kind of sentiment, I think, was feared.
But you have just said something 15 minutes ago about not being able to say something because you would, i.e. fear, you would lose your job. That's where I talk about the thin end of the wedge. We should be allowed free speech. We shouldn't be allowed
but that's not
violent speech. But
that's
anyway.
not free speech, Paul. That is, it's being these people who have been victims of abuse. It's not about free speech. That's a different subject. It's about
I wasn't saying
fighting
that.
for your rights, and it's about people living in fear. That's a different subject.
Yeah, but you were saying about fear of losing your job and things.
Well, I was talking about Gary Lineker.
No,
having the fear of losing.
Yeah, I know you were. But anyway, never mind.
Yeah,
we're going round in circles now.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it now.
Haven't we watched anything else?
No, nothing else.
Have we got anything coming up?
No, never.
I
never
think
watching
we have.
I'm giving the TV away now.
Oh, right. Well, we won't be watching
Say
The
goodbye to
Mandalorian then.
it. Well, only if you've got that freebie on Disney. That's it now, everybody. We're going. Thank you for watching another episode of
Sunday Chat!
We do hope you've enjoyed it and come back again for more soon. Thanks very much for watching. Bye, children.
Are we going now?
That's it.
That's it.
Wave goodbye. Say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.